So, good morning, fellas. Today, I'll tell the story of how I fell in love with cinema. It all started when I watched Sam Raimi's Spider Man 1. I still remember being fascinated by the idea that a teenager could gain extraordinary powers from a mere spider bite, allowing him to swing between buildings, crawl up walls, and develop superstar instincts to fight crime in the city. The story of Spider Man, driven by the loss of his uncle due to his own carelessness, left a strong impression on me. And of course, there was the iconic line.
With great power comes great responsibility.
At the time, I didn't fully understand the depth of the phrase, but I was just simply mesmerized by the film's stunning visuals. From that day onward, it became my daily routine to come home from school, turn on the TV, and watch whichever film was being broadcasted. Regardless of the language, whether it be English, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, or any other language, I spent most of my teenage years just watching big budget Hollywood action films such as Star Wars, Mission Impossible, Terminator, Transformer, and some superhero franchises such as Marvel, DC, X-Men. At the time, I didn't realize that movies could offer so much more than just action on screen. Back then, for me, movies was all about those larger than life characters with those badass one-liners. That's it. Those were simpler times, I admit. Me watching movies all day, getting scolded by my parents for it. Nevertheless, I believed that no matter what happened in my life, my bond with movies would never break. But in life, they say nothing goes as the way you think it would, right? Then came a time when I decided to take a break from watching movies to focus on my academics. Although staying away from movies didn't really improve my grades, it was a difficult choice to make. Movies had always been my escape from reality, and giving them up left me feeling exposed. It was around this time that I moved from my hometown to a big city, and the sudden shift in my lifestyle was nevertheless overwhelming. I went from a small town with a calm, familiar environment to a bustling metropolis where everyone seemed to be in a constant rush to catch a cab, rush to secure a job, achieve results, or outpace one another. In this crowded city, I felt strangely alone and isolated. Even as an ambivert, I found it hard to make friends, not just to find company, but to feel a true sense of connection, a sense of belonging. Then came a time when not only me, the whole world was isolated along with me. The year 2020. It was a particularly lonely time for me, spending 24/7 in my room without talking to anyone, and feeling declined to reach out to my old friends. The loneliness started to consume me, and I felt suffocated even within my own home, surrounded by my family. In this dark period, movies once again held my hand and became my refuge. One day I stumbled upon a movie called Django Unchained. I clicked on it without knowing much about the plot or what to expect. To my surprise, I found myself captivated by a story centered around a man seeking vengeance for the suffering endured by him and his wife during slavery, accompanied by a cool German character who was as cool as Keanu Reeves. For the first time, I saw characters engage in dialogues without wondering when the action would start, which piqued my curiosity about what made this film so special. After doing some research, I discovered that this film was directed by Quentin Tarantino, the same director who directed Kill Bill, one of my favorite action dramas from my teenage years. This revelation led me to the question, what movies were truly about? Whether they were just action sequences, CGI fights, and cool one-liners, or something more profound. This prompted me to delve deeper into the various aspects of filmmaking, such as story, screenplay, cinematography, editing, and etc. Despite the newfound interest, it took another film to fully awaken my appreciation for cinema beyond just action.
Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club.
Enter Fight Club. Directed by David Fincher, the movie gave me new perspective to look at things. The raw, deep storytelling and complex theme that not only changed my perspective of how I saw the world, but also made me see films as a powerful medium to explore deeper human emotions and complex thought-provoking themes in ways that I never considered before. Fight Club became a catalyst through which I discovered that cinema was not just about flashy sequences or adrenaline-pumping moments, but also about nuanced character and evocative themes. As my fascination with films grew, I began exploring different genres in film that were once outside my usual preference, be it drama, thriller, or science fiction. Started reading about them and tried to understand the vision of the director. What are they trying to say through the film? Stumbled upon many great directors like Martin Scorsese, David Lynch, Satyajit Ray, Stanley Kubrick, and etc. Through this expanding relationship with cinema, I developed a profound connection with movies, because I find it very difficult to express myself. I often choose wrong words at wrong time, which results in misunderstanding and has cost me a very good relationship so far. With movies, I don't feel the need to explain myself. Whenever I feel a certain way, I simply watch a movie with similar theme and characters. Watching a movie offered me a sense of being heard and understood, bridging the gap between my internal world and external expression. Since I started my journey of exploring cinema, I always wanted to share my experience of watching movies with everyone. Because we all know how inspiring it is to see Spider-Man get up to face his enemies once again, despite all his personal struggles, or how heartbreaking it was to watch Sebastian and Mia share one last glance at each other in La La Land, or how Tyler Durden's speech can change one's perspective of looking at things. So join me in this cinematic journey where we appreciate the art of movies, where we explore cinema, where we try to understand cinema, and where we talk about cinema. So thank you for watching this video, guys. I will see you in my next one. And if I don't,
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.